school in Orlando East last year.
All right, our reporter Hitekani Magwedze is at the court. Let's go live to him now. Hitekani, what is the mood like at the court?
Well, good morning and good morning to our viewers. We are expecting a whole lot more people to arrive here at Palm Ridge Magistrates Court for the A.B Xuma case, but there aren't many people here as far as the mood is concerned. But the person who's arrived quite early here is the sister of accused 58-year-old former Scholar Patrol guard Johannes Molefe. She's just here. She's arrived a bit early, and as I said, we expect a bit more people. But just to paint a picture of the previous sittings that led up to the judgment today, we know that the defense has been saying that the children who took the stand, we know that the children who allegedly were assaulted sexually were between the ages of 5 and 13. Now, some of them did take the stand to be witnesses in this case, and some of them have said that, have detailed quite gruesome stories of rape and being touched sexually, and some really being touched in the vaginas and inserted fingers into the vaginas. So really, really gruesome stories. But the defense has been saying that those children seem to have been coached because, according to them, the statements of the children who took the stands don't corroborate with the initial police statements that were given, and they say, of course, those are signs of being coached. But the state prosecutor has said, in case law, the initial or the statement doesn't really shouldn't affect the criminality of the charges, and the charges should stand, and that the accused should be found guilty. But of course, this comes at the back. This case comes at the back of the sentencing of the coach at Parktown Boys High. We know that also happened in a similar time, and the Department of Education had been paying close attention to that. And when the case of the Parktown Boys High finally came to a close, they were quite happy about that. But they are here today to just talk to us and just tell us their expectations of the judgment today. And we're joined by a spokesperson of the Education Department in the province, Mr. Steve Mabona. Mr. Steve, thank you for joining us at the agenda. Now tell us, what is your expectation briefly of the judgment today?
Look, as the department, we can hope for a guilt verdict, as we might have, observed, through our representatives at the court, who have been informing us that we have a positive case, and we are actually hoping for a positive one, which will be probably a guilt verdict, because these children went through a lot. This is a situation where we don't want anyone to experience. As you will understand, that when this was reported, it was quite a challenge for us to even manage. We had to interact with parents. We had to make sure that learners are counseled, make sure that we support them. And we had to appoint a task team that will be making sure that parents are updated and they are taken through the process. It's quite traumatic, experience that we went through as the department, which we don't want to happen to anyone, actually.
All right. Thank you very much. We will, of course, speak to you after the judgment today. That was Steve Mabona. He's the spokesperson for the Gauteng Education Department, of course, wanting to close off these cases of sexual assault happening at the schools.
Thank you so much, Hitekani. While I have you, can I just ask you a final question? You're saying that it's quiet in court. I want to know if it's the same case outside, and is this a sign that the initial outrage we saw from the community has tapered down?
Well, we are actually well outside the court, well inside the court building, but not in court. We will go outside and check if there are people as yet. By the time we arrived here around 8, there weren't as many people, but we do expect, considering that it is Judgment Day, we do expect people to come here and show their support and revolt, of course, for what has allegedly happened to the children. But inside the court building, there aren't many people as yet.
Magwedze will update us on that story later on. Thank you so much. Blaine?
Thanks, Des. Well, the EFF is in the